Have you seen the second season of Bridgerton? Well, if you haven't, then I suggest you go watch it, because this video is going to be filled with spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about it, walk away and watch it. However, then I want you to come back here and see if your reaction lines up with what other fans are saying about the second season. That's right, we're talking about what fans have to say about the second season. So grab a seat and get comfortable, because we have some thoughts for you. First up, some of the initial reactions. The show is supposed to tell the story about one Bridgerton sibling each season, but the entire family always catches everyone's attention. That is why many people were excited to see the whole family back together again. You can see their reaction on Twitter. Also, people fell in love with Anthony Bridgerton and Kate Sharma for obvious reasons. What was your reaction when the family was back together again? We have Anthony and Kate first. Fans quickly jumped online and began talking about the chemistry and the energy between these two lovebirds. It's understandable because their chemistry was amazing, but this might also be because Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley already have a really good bond in real life. One Twitter fan wrote, "I am unharmed, my god, JDHKHS, they got the Hennessy." They are right about that, because that scene had all of us rethinking about how our partners should be looking at us. Another reaction that was quite popular was one about Eloise Bridgerton. How did you react with Anthony and Kate? Did you also freak out at that scene? Next, Eloise Bridgerton. Eloise, who was being her hilarious self, also managed to avoid dancing with any of the men from the society. Now, that is some serious talent, and I think she should be teaching us a thing or two. Well, fans picked up on this pretty quickly and took it as a personal lesson on how to avoid men in real life. Many fans on Twitter have compiled screenshots of some of her lines and put them in a collage so people can see the amazing advice. Will you be using this advice in the future when you're trying not to dance with someone? I know I might. Up next, Bridgerton versus real life. Many fans took to the internet to explain that they were having some struggles when the show was released. That's right, they didn't know if they should leave their job so they could watch the season. Yes, we know it was clearly a joke, but it's still rather funny to think about. One fan went to Twitter and said, "Work versus Bridgerton, what do I choose? Why should I choose? Maybe I should just quit my job." I mean, I wouldn't suggest quitting your job for the show. I think you can just watch it in the evening. Would you be so dramatic with a show that you really want to watch? And many fans now prefer the second season. Now, let's get into why fans prefer this second season more compared to the first one. The second season follows Anthony Bridgerton, who sets his sights on finding an appropriate match to get married to at the beginning of the season. He ends up courting Edwina Sharma, but her sister Kate Sharma doesn't approve of Anthony at all, so she tries to disrupt this romance. However, there was obviously an argument between the two, and then some serious sexual tension came about from it. The reason why people like this season so much is because of the chemistry between Kate and Anthony, and the fact that there was less sex, but more lingering touches and longing looks. Listen, we all love a little bit of tension. It gets the blood pumping. One fan went to Twitter and wrote about how there were more intense scenes and emotions in this season. For example, look at the scene with Daphne and Simon during every sex scene they had. It showed passion and wasn't something that was just about sex. Many people are even saying that the chemistry between Anthony and Kate was done a lot better than the one between Daphne and the Duke. However, you might think something different, so throw it in the comments section down below just in case. Another fan on Twitter wrote about how this season gave them a solid plot with a good enemies to lovers trope, a full love story that had emotions and depth, and not as many excessive sex scenes was explosive. Another fan piped in and said that the second season really viewed women as people and not as objects, and I can agree with that. I definitely think that women were treated differently with this plot, and it shows. Also, it's important that we continue to have these plots because it shows women that they they are essential and should always be treated like a person. What did you think about the plot? Do you think it was done well? Also, keep watching because we have even more stuff to talk about with you. Next, long live Anthony. More fans are excited about the slow burn that happened between Kate and Anthony. I will also say that I enjoyed it because it seemed a bit more realistic, like they were actually falling for each other as they got to know each other more, and that's just beautiful, don't you think? Also, with lines like, "You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires." You just can't not want to ship these two together so hard. Some fans also pointed out how Anthony was obsessed with Kate's smell, so he's kind of like an animal. Apparently, he is always aware of her smell before he sees her, so it makes the whole thing very sensual. That's what Jonathan Bailey thinks anyways. Daphne struggled with this romance a bit because she did not understand those glances at all. It was quite funny to watch. Some fans would point out that Daphne thinks she has clearly connected all the dots, but Anthony has told her that she hasn't. However, Daphne is absolutely convinced. There is always someone like that, right? Another scene that many fans are talking about is the mud scene. Yes, you know the one. When Kate stepped into the mud to win the game, Anthony's heart was the best thing for a lot of people to see. They said that it really sealed the deal for them, and they knew that those two were definitely going to end up together. However, some fans were also let down because there were 8 episodes of constant back and forth, but only 2 minutes of them being together. That did hurt many people, but it just means we can continue to see them be together as the show continues to develop. Their relationship will be more so in the background now. What do you think of the relationship between Kate and Anthony? Was it everything you hoped it would be? But there was more than just romance. Season 2 wasn't just about Kate and Anthony. There were some other amazing things as well. What is interesting is that Kate makes Anthony question his own ideas of women, and she manages to position herself better than other English women. Also, she was only doing this because she initially wanted to defeat Anthony for the fun of it, but that didn't end up happening. Another interesting thing that people can see when they watch this season is the struggle that older siblings go through. It showed the older siblings giving up a lot to be protective of their younger siblings. That doesn't mean that they acted in the best interest of their younger sibling. This is because the older siblings feel as though they have seen and been through enough, so their younger siblings do not have to. However, that is how these younger siblings are then going to be robbed of their growth in an organic way. In one scene, the older siblings' love was called out as pity, and that was pretty powerful to watch. We see Anthony's younger sister, Eloise Bridgerton, dressed down in front of the audience after she is made as the better one of the group. Since she is a Regency-era woman, she has a lot of troubling ideas about women empowerment, but they're just ideas. That is why she needed to step down from the class ladder and go with the commoners to learn more about what life is like for everyone else and women. However, her quest to find Lady Whistledown ends up being less gratifying than she imagined. That is when she is reminded that she is all talk and nothing more. Another great thing is when we saw Lady Whistledown and Madame Delacroix's secret partnership. This bond shows that the newspaper will sing words of praise to help the advertiser, and they will help sustain the newspaper. This partnership is beautiful and professional. It's great to see women working together. Did you catch these things in the second season as well? Was there anything else that you saw that we didn't mention? Well, that's the end of this video. What did you think of the second season? Did you love Anthony as much as everyone else? What about Eloise and her storyline? Let us know your thoughts down below.